Carried by the ships of the Phaeacians, Odysseus finally reaches the shores of Ithaca. This dawn marks the end of a long 20-year voyage and the beginning of his final saga, the quiet orchestration of his return and ultimate revenge. Exhausted by 2 decades of wandering, the hero remains in a deep slumber. The Phaeacian sailors gently carry him ashore, leaving him on the sands of the homeland he has fought so long to see. Beside the sleeping king, they leave chests of royal treasures, a final tribute before their silent departure. Yet this noble deed seals their fate, as the lingering wrath of Poseidon turns toward their homeward sails. Waking on the shore, Odysseus is met not with the comforting sights of home, but with a dense, disorienting mist. Shrouded by Athena's divine intervention, he fails to recognize the very land he sought to return to. Through the heavy mist steps a young shepherd, an earthly disguise chosen by the goddess Athena. In this quiet reunion, she reveals the truth to the lost king, lifting the veil from his eyes. Overcome by disbelief, Odysseus demands reassurance. As the realization of his return finally washes over him, his overwhelming joy is tempered by a deep, calculating sense of caution. Athena delivers a grim report of the years he was absent. Believing the king dead, a group of ruthless suitors has descended upon his palace, placing immense pressure on his loyal wife, Penelope. Drawn from Ithaca and nearby islands, over 100 noblemen have laid siege to his home. Day after day they slaughter his livestock and drain his wealth in endless gluttonous feasts. For 3 years, Penelope held the horde at bay with a cunning vow. She would marry only when she finished weaving a burial shroud. By day she wove, and by night, in the shadows, she unraveled her progress. Even after her deception was discovered, the suitors refused to leave. Their unchecked arrogance now threatens not only the remnants of Odysseus's royal estate, but the very life of his heir, Telemachus. The goddess of wisdom urges restraint, warning Odysseus against charging blindly into his own halls. To survive this occupation, he must remain a ghost, carefully observing the enemy before striking. With a touch of divine magic, Athena strips away the king's majestic visage. His skin wrinkles, his hair thins, and he is cloaked in wretched rags, an impenetrable disguise that no friend or foe could pierce. The returning king walks his sovereign soil not as a conqueror, but as the lowest of beggars. Taking in the familiar landscapes through the eyes of an outcast, he swallows the bitter irony of this homecoming. A single warrior, no matter how legendary, cannot defeat over 100 armed men in open combat. Odysseus's intellect takes command, recognizing the necessity of gathering intelligence and unearthing hidden allies. Guided by Athena, Odysseus sets his sights on the humble dwelling of his loyal swineherd. This rustic outpost will serve as his first stronghold, a place to safely measure the loyalty of his people before entering the lion's den. The journey inland brings the physical decay of the land into sharp focus, mirroring the 20 years that have slipped away. The weight of this long absence hangs heavy, yet beneath the ruins and overgrowth, the heart of Ithaca remains firm. Odysseus faces an agonizing inner struggle. He is torn between the relief of his return and the necessity of hiding his identity. Standing so close to his family, keeping silent is a trial of endurance more difficult than any he faced at sea. Every step in the dirt is a calculated movement in his plan for justice. His survival at sea is behind him. What remains is a cold, lethal hunt through the halls of his own home. The grand mythical battles have passed, replaced by a grounded, high-stakes psychological war. The final chapter of his story will not be decided by the swing of a spear, but by the patient resolve of a king reclaiming his home from the shadows. Having survived the ocean, the king walks Ithaca as a beggar, reaching out to his loyal swineherd to plot his next move. In the chapter to come, the disguised ruler will finally find the son who has spent years searching for him.